access, and haters are misinterpreting the law to take vigilante actions. It has caused increased trans harassment in private spaces.
Good evening and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand. Available on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's time to queer up the news for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we are going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ evening news show. Whatever happens unique in LGBTQ news, you will see it and hear it.
HOTspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ+ community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of the LGBTQ+ community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our queer culture, the Black community, Latino, lesbians, and queer women, trans, students, youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS, healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ+ nonprofit media companies in America, HOTspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ+ experience, and our television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ+ and broader community.
Let's meet tonight's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back anchor Rajee Narine-Singh, a famous transgender activist, actress, author, mystic, and reality television personality. She is of multiracial descent and has appeared on more than 35 television shows, just to name a few, across the globe. She's an activist for Trans Social. Welcome back, Rajee. How are ya?
Thank you, and it's great to be back. I'm a lot of things, okay?
Yes.
I'm a lot of things. I just want to announce, I'm excited. I'm on a few boards, but one of the boards that I'm a part of is Gilda's Club. And I'm on the consortium, Cancer Consortium board. And on the 4th of May, which is a Saturday, we're having our wellness fair. It's a wellness and brunch and fair. So there's going to be like lots of vendors there from different organizations in the community. And also there'll be yoga, sound bath, yeah, meditation.
Where can we find more information on that?
Well, you can go to gildasclub.org, and it's at the location, the Gilda's Club, I guess, Playhouse, or what they call it, and it's here in Fort Lauderdale. So, and you can check out my page on Instagram, Rajee_BotchTV, and I'll be posting about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Check it out. Let's welcome back Gregg Shapiro, an inductee into the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame. Gregg is the author of 2 short story collections and 7 books of poetry. He's an entertainment journalist whose celebrity interviews and reviews run in a variety of print and online publications. It's always an honor to be at the table with you, Gregg. How are ya?
I am great. I am just so gosh darn happy to be here. So let's do it.
Let's dive in.
Yay!
Let's welcome Corey Lexima for his first time. He visits us from West Palm Beach with a decade of experience in the medical field as a pharmacy technician and now a peer coordinator with Community Care Resources. Welcome, Corey. How are you?
I'm good. I'm ready to pop this cherry tonight. Fun environment so far, so I'm having a good time. I do just want you guys to look out for me on Instagram, Corey Billions with 3 L's, not 2, because it's just that large.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so, and of course, we can't forget you, darling. I'd like to introduce anchor Eric Restivo. and I know I butchered
Restivo.
that. Restivo. Sorry.
Okay.
Eric is well known for DJing at some of the largest clubs in West Hollywood and has had residencies in LA, P-Town, New York City, and now Wilton Manors. He is the television host of the show The W Boys, focusing on LGBTQ plus love for entertainment broadcast Fridays and then on demand. So you got to check it out.
Yes, I was just going to say you can head to every social media platform and just search for the W Boys. We've got some exciting news coming up, so follow along. We are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast, and here are the bullet points of the queer news for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. First, this evening, let's queer up HOTspots magazine. HOTspots magazine celebrates 40 years with the best of everything gay, honey, on stands April 25th. HOTspots is celebrating 40 years with the new issue on stands Thursday. The magazine is part of HOTspots Happening Out, the largest nonprofit LGBTQ plus media group in America. This new issue is a special home improvement edition. You're getting an exclusive sneak peek of the new cover, and this issue has several interesting features, including features on how to get your home listing ready, Bay's first tools, and building a gym in a garage, all by S. Elfman. Do you have a green thumb or want one? I am terrible when it comes to my green thumb. You can get access to 7 gardening basics for beginners by Family Features, and May features a fun LGBTQ plus loved holiday. There's an interesting read on different cocktails you can make and serve this Cinco de Mayo, from smoky mezcal to tangy citrus. I'll take both, please. South Florida has great restaurants that are embracing the LGBTQ plus community. In case you are looking for a perfect place to spend time with your friends and family, Hot Eats is the segment for you. We are coming into the final weekend of one of the largest LGBTQ plus cultural events in America. The magazine has a detailed feature on the ongoing Outshine Film Festival and the movies scheduled. Live performance comes off the page with features about the South Florida premiere of Peter Pan in May. And this new issue has everything you need to know about Peter Pan and a special interview with Cody Garcia, who plays the role of Captain Hook in this Broadway production. Did you know that most of the world's Pride centers are under the leadership of Centerlink, headquartered here in Wilton Manors? And talking about interviews, HOTspots has featured an impactful interview by Maria Espinal and Denise Spivak, current CEO of Centerlink. And of course, you want to read popular features like Out with Scott and What's Hot by Scott Holland. Grab your free copy of HOTspots magazine on April 25th, or you might miss all of the fun. And I just want to say that was Spivak. I'm so sorry about that. I practiced your last name right before this, but I wanted to just get it right. Listen, I say this anytime I get blessed with a HOTspots magazine story. It's truly, it makes it easy for us, right, to just kind of have this one-stop shop for everything gay, like they said, whether you want to look up a restaurant that you'd like to try, an event that's taking place maybe in Wilton Manors or outside Wilton Manors, different movies for the Outshine Film Festival. It truly is a never-ending resource of fabulousness.
I'm just surprised that it's 40 years. Oh my God. It makes me feel a little old.
I know, because you're only 23.
Right.
Oh, so
baby.
random how that...
I absolutely love you.
Listen,
now.
you brought the candy for me.
Yes, I'm the candy girl. But yeah, 40 years. It's amazing. And I really feel like the magazine has become a staple in our community. Oftentimes I'm looking for it because I want to see what's going on, you know.
It's just surprising that they are at every event. You'd be surprised at the small events, the big events. You never know what you'll get in HOTspot. That's why you have to pick it up and look.
And I'd be looking out for the HOTspots photographers. I'm
right.
like, I'm here.
You never know if he gets that shot when you're at the bar and they turn around.
Exactly.
Oh my God, you're right here.
Well, my husband and I just had an addition built on our house, as well as some major remodeling. And if this informative issue of HOTspots magazine leaves you with any additional questions, including how to survive such an experience, I would be more than happy to answer them.
Are you undergoing renovations right now?
Everything's done. Knock on glass.
Knock on glass.
Knock on wood.
Next, let's queer up the USA View. The Smithsonian Museums canceled drag shows for June Pride Month because of GOP opposition. Despite recent reports suggesting the institution would no longer host drag shows due to Republican complaints, the Smithsonian is setting the record straight. During a hearing on December 12th, U.S. Rep. Stephanie Bice questioned Smithsonian leader Lonnie Bunch about the appropriateness of drag shows for children, prompting Bunch to say, quote, "I'm surprised, and I will look into that," end quote. Investigations by the New Republic revealed no drag shows scheduled at any Smithsonian venue for 2024, marking the first Pride Month without such events in over 5 years. To which a Smithsonian spokesperson clarified that the organization is actively working to plan LGBTQ+ events for the month, potentially including drag performances. However, the controversy deepened as reports surfaced of canceled drag events, with drag queen Patty Gonia sharing her experience of having a show abruptly canceled after months of preparation. According to the spokesperson, recent events featuring drag performances didn't materialize due to insufficient funding for the entire program, rather than any issues with specific shows or content. The Smithsonian Institution is known for its vast network of museums and research centers. Its LGBTQ+ advocacy group, the Smithsonian Pride Alliance, recently expressed concerns due to Smithsonian leader Bunch's following his remarks about drag performances in December, highlighting the importance of drag as a form of self-expression and art, and its significant contribution to American culture. Queer News Tonight will follow this story leading up to June Pride Month. So I had the honor and privilege of interviewing Lonnie Bunch when he was the president of the Chicago History Museum in the early 2000s. And that museum had and continues to have a welcoming relationship with the LGBTQ+ community. I think the key phrase in the story here, though, is Republican complaints.
Yeah.
Because in the same way they've been going after NPR for years and public broadcasting, Bice from Oklahoma and her crooked cronies have found something new to bitch about. They're just not happy unless they're bitching.
And you know, for me, drag is really an art form. It's an art form.
Speak on it.
And you know, people will take their kids to a football game and allow them to see cheerleaders with hardly any clothes on, and that's not inappropriate. You see these drag performers that put so much work into it, and it's entertainment. It's not, I mean, you know, it's not pornography. They're trying to make it out to be.
Right, of course. It's almost like the same thing with wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Like they take young kids to wrestling matches and the guys are in, you know,
Speedos, right.
the women are, you know, objectified and it's highly sexualized, but, you know, you turn around and a drag queen's reading a children's book by a gay author to a crowd of people who signed up to be there, by the way, you know, bought tickets to be there. They're not being forced, you know, against their will. And that's an issue. So I'm really interested to follow this story. I have to be honest, I had no idea that the Smithsonian Museums even hosted any sort of drag events. So I was kind of happy to find that out in the sad of this as well. So I agree with you, Greg. I think it's just they need something to bitch about. So we'll see what happens in a few, right?
Yeah. I just feel that like trans and the drag queen community, we're just being used as the political wedge right now. And
in so many different lights.
Yeah, in so many ways.
So many lights and situations. And this won't even be the last article we spotlight about it tonight. So,
Next, let's queer up the world's view. A cock and a frock on a rock. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, to get the sequel movie. Big news for fans of glitter and glam. Stephen Elliott, director of the iconic film, The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, confirms a sequel is in the works. Original stars Terrence Stamp, Guy Pearce, and Hugo Weaving are on board for the journey. 30 years after the original film's release, since about the 1994 Cannes Film Festival, Priscilla has captivated audiences with its extravagant charm. The story of 3 drag queens traversing the Australian desert in a bus named Priscilla, belting out disco hits, has earned a dedicated following. In an era where drag culture has gained mainstream recognition, Elliott aims to capture both LGBTQ+ and straight audiences alike. Talking to Deadline, Elliott said he was hesitant at first to make the sequel. However, the passing of the parents and the pandemic spurred Elliott to revisit the idea of a sequel. The new film promises to blend disco classics with contemporary tunes, marketing Priscilla's final adventure. Priscilla was so unique in the LGBTQ plus culture as it came out a full year before RuPaul's Supermodel and 15 years before the premiere of Drag Race. So get ready to hit the road again with Bernadette, Adam Felicia, and Tick Mitzi for another unforgettable journey. I personally have never seen this movie.
What? Blasphemy.
Oh my goodness.
Part of
I
your
feel bad
education.
saying that out loud. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to see it
You'll
this week.
report back next
Yes.
week, maybe,
Yes.
or next time you're here, and
Next
let
time
us
I'm
know
here.
for sure. I think it's incredible. It's so funny. We mentioned that, listen, Priscilla Queen of the Desert, in a way, ran so Drag Race could walk, you know, 50
Yes.
years before it. And I think it's a win that it's the original cast. I also think it's important that the director was focusing on getting going for straight on audiences as well, and bringing that in. It's smart to bridge that gap. That's what I want to see. And anytime there's queer representation on our television
Absolutely.
screens, I'm pretty goddamn happy.
I'm excited about it, and you know, it's really gained like such a cult.
Oh yeah, cult following, like
over the
Rocky
years.
Horror. kind of,
Yes.
that's similar.
I
same-
put it in the same category.
Yeah.
But I don't want to sound like the hoe. I got
Oh.
I got struck on cock on a rock. I'm sorry.
That was the first sentence of the article.
I know, and you got my attention right away. Cock on a rock. But I'm
Adventures-
excited.
The Adventures of Priscilla Queen of the Desert will always have a special place in my heart. I think it's over here. As it was the first movie I ever reviewed for the Queer Press, that 30 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And I can't wait to see Terrence Stamp, Hugo Weaving, and sexy Guy Pearce on screen together again.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me beg the question, like, will we get some sort of sequel to Tu Wong Fu? Will that come?
Right, because that was inspired by
So-
Priscilla.
I
Classic.
love-
It's a classic.
I love to.
Now I know that movie.
You know that one.
I know that one.
Okay, you're good now. You're back. You're back. You're
Yes.
back.
So next, let's queer up trans rights. Right-wing radicals troll trans people inside Florida bathrooms. Florida's controversial anti-trans bathroom law, House Bill 1521, not only limits access to public facilities, but also triggers vigilante actions in private establishments. The Safety in Private Spaces Act prohibits transgender individuals from using state-owned bathrooms matching their gender identity. However, this has emboldened right-wing radicals to confront suspected violators in places like restaurants and gyms where the law doesn't apply. Gina Duncan from the Equality Florida highlights the increased harassment of transgender individuals in private settings due to the confusion about the law's scope. Legal experts and activists criticized HB 1521, signed by Governor Ron DeSantis, for imposing the strictest bathroom restrictions in the U.S. The law lacks clarity, endangering trans individuals. It introduces criminal penalties, compounding risks for vulnerable populations. This highlights the broader struggle for transgender individuals in Florida to navigate public spaces safely. Some adapt safety measures like group restroom visits or avoiding isolated areas. Support groups like Found Family Collective and Pink Pistols provide assistance and self-defense training, yet many opt to retreat from public life to evade confrontation. Well, I'll tell you, this story is very close to
home.
Yeah. Very, very close. And I'm just going to admit, I avoid as much as I can using the bathroom in public. I really do.
You shouldn't have to.
I know, but and thank you for saying that, but it's just the fear of, is there going to be a confrontation? And do I even feel like that battle? I will be at a restaurant, and if I have to pee-pee, I will oftentimes hold it.
Hold it.
Wow.
I'll hold it because I just don't want to even take the chance.
How long has this fear been around for you?
Well, for the longest, actually, since I've been a transgender woman, transitioning to a trans woman, it's been that way. However, as the momentum of our transgender civil rights movement progressed, I started to feel a little more comfortable. You know, but like with any movement, there's backlash. And the last few years, we've experienced a lot of backlash. But I mean, look at me. You may know that I'm a trans woman, but I know, and no offense to men in dresses, but I know I don't look like a man in a dress. And I know I don't belong in the men's room. Now, I will say, and I know probably some trans people out there might want to beat my behind, but no, there was a point in my transition that I didn't use the ladies' room until I felt I was far enough along. And you know when that moment was? I was still using the men's room, and I was washing my hands at the sink, and a guy walks in, and he looks at me, he's like, "Oh, ma'am, I'm sorry," and he's backing out the door, but he's looking at the sign, and he's like, "Wait a minute." That was the moment.
That was the aha
I knew.
moment. Yep.
Now, I don't follow Megyn Kelly. I don't follow her, and I don't really care for her, a lot of her views. But she did make a statement recently, and I'm just going to paraphrase. I don't know if you all remember the incident of the trans person that was shaving in the bathroom, and there was a big...
In like Alaska, right?
I can't remember what state it was, but it was they made a big deal out of it.
Okay.
Megyn said, where was it? Planet Fitness. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Oh my God, our producers are wonderful. Thank you. But Megyn said, for a trans person, a transgender woman, no transgender woman wants people to see her shaving.
No.
And I thought that was a really excellent point.
Kind of insightful for Megyn.
Yeah, insightful for her. And it struck me, there's no way, I mean, really, a trans woman is going to be at a Planet Fitness shaving.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So anyway.
It's tough. This is tough for me because it's like, as much as I love seeing the gender neutral restrooms, I love seeing them, but it also makes me scared for my trans friends because it makes it easier for a target, because if you're someone who just hates the trans community for just hating it, it's a one-way, you just go right there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really, this article made me think that I was like, shit, like, you know, as much as I want you to have a space, a safe space, is it a safe space?
Well, I
believe in self-defense. I'm a card-carrying conceal.
Oh, really? Oh my God, I need you as my partner.
And that's a personal preference that you're entitled to have, you know, but some people shouldn't feel like they have to, you know, carry because they just want to go and get a fried jalapeno, you know, from the pub. You know?
Well, but sometimes you don't go searching for trouble.
Right.
Trouble searches for you.
Searches for you. You're absolutely
you have
right.
To be prepared.
You're right.
Wow. Well, I predicted that Governor Death Sentence would be even more loathsome after dropping out of the POTUS race. Failure, loser, and he is fulfilling that prophecy. Mark my words, he will continue to make our lives a living hell for the remainder of his time in office.
And you know, I just want to make this point.
Count the seconds.
I just want to make this point. When these type of laws are passed, it lends license for people.
They said vigilante behavior, right?
Yeah, it really gives them the license to do these kind of things, because the discriminatory people were there all along.
Right.
But when they have these laws to stand on, then they feel like they can.
And they get highlighted. Oh yeah, of course. Right.
Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
We finish tonight's queer news headlines with a segment we call LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News. Let's queer up entertainment. Celebrating trans identity, The People's Joker blazes a trail in superhero cinema. Vera Drew's debut film, released this month, named The People's Joker, defies categorization by blending a trans coming-of-age tale with DC Comics lore. It critiques comedy's male-dominated landscape while embracing diverse animation styles. Amidst action and comedy, the film's core is a universal story of self-discovery and love. The protagonist, Joker, finds solace and love with Mr. J, a trans man. Their romance, depicted authentically and refreshingly, portrays a T for T relationship, trans for trans. In the cinematic landscape often devoid of such narratives, The People's Joker shines, offering audiences a heartfelt and inclusive portrayal of love, identity, and acceptance.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up entertainment. Here are some LGBTQ plus celebs you can only follow on OnlyFans. I'm writing my list now. Many LGBTQ plus celebrities are finding success on OnlyFans, capitalizing on their fame through diverse content. Notable names like Robbie Manson, Hugo D. Almonte, and Trace Lenoff are among those thriving on the platform. From artistic news to non-sexual content, each celeb is known for offering unique subscription experiences. Benjamin Julian, Ollie King, and Kyle Krager are also on the roster alongside Philip Davis, Grant Colson, with stars like Martin Hefner, Sean T, and Adore Delano in the mix. OnlyFans proves lucrative for LGBTQ plus personalities. As they engage fans with exclusive content, the platform remains a popular avenue for queer individuals to monetize their fame.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up entertainment. Cher into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. About 60 years, about damn time. We don't have to turn back time, as 2024 is going to be great for LGBTQ plus icon Cher. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced the names of 16 artists and musical figures it will induct this year. The list for 2024 includes various categories like Performer category, Musical Influence Award, Musical Excellence Award, and Ahmet Erdogan Award. Cher is being honored under the Performer category with 7 other artists. However, fans wonder how Cher will react to this announcement, as last December on the Kelly Clarkson show, Cher said, "I wouldn't be in it now if they gave me $1 million. Up until that moment, she had never even been nominated. But this year, she is amongst the announced inductees. Odds are she'll reconsider her previous vow.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. That was great. News. Let's queer up entertainment. Eddie Redmayne proudly leads today's dangerous LGBTQ plus world in Reboot of Cabaret. Cabaret was a secret story of a 1930s Berlin club starring talented homosexuals in the shadow of Hitler and a growing Holocaust. This spring, Broadway welcomes the reboot of Cabaret, based on John Van Druten's I Am a Camera, inspired by Christopher Isherwood, Goodbye to Berlin, who were both gay. The musical's legacy was launched in 1966 by John Kander, Fred E. Ebb, and Joe Masteroff, who were all gay. Joel Grey's iconic MC role paved the way, followed by Alan Cummings in 1998. Now Oscar and Tony winner Eddie Redmayne commands the stage to offer a fresh take on the energetic character. Redmayne recently expressed his awe for the role to Vanity Fair, saying, quote, "I was staggered by the character, the lack of definition of it, the enigma of it," end quote. Don't miss Cabaret captivating revival at the August Wilson Theater, promising an unforgettable LGBTQ plus Broadway experience.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up the worldview. Iraq delays kill the gays bill as Prime Minister meets with Biden. Iraq's parliament delayed a vote on a draconian anti-LGBTQ plus bill that would have imposed the death penalty for same-sex acts. The bill, slated for discussion last week, faced postponement due to a time constraint and disagreements over amendments. Human Rights Watch criticized the legislation, highlighting its conflict with Iraq's constitution and international human rights law. The delay also coincided with the Prime Minister's meeting with President Joe Biden, which was scheduled to focus on increased U.S. investment in Iraq. That is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these type of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of HOTspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Eric Restivo, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Rajee Narine-Singh, Gregg Shapiro, and Corey Lexima, we will see you daily at 8 p.m. to our LGBTQ plus world. We wish you
Good night.